With permission, I beg that we straight away we have our prayers and then we have the program started. And so, Mawu Pastor Joseph Azuma, and we jam and you pusa tete ago bisuwar maga atabacha albame alka na wonduwala atongwon tumala wangai batala.
Thank you. His Excellency, the former President of the Republic of Ghana, John Dramani Mahama, revered chiefs, the clergy, the Chief Imam and his representative, Queen Mothers, and ladies and gentlemen, please can we be in a position of prayer? Father, in the name of Jesus, we thank you for this wonderful day that you've given to us. We ask, oh God, that you come and take the center stage of this particular program. Even as every individual comes to take their turn, we ask, oh God, that your guidance will be with them, that at the end of the day, your name will be glorified, and we shall not forget to give you all the thanks. These and many more we have asked in your precious name. Amen. This is just a statement. Your Excellency, the former President, the clergy of Fumbisi, Local Council of Churches, would want to plead with you, and that we are praying for the peace of this nation. It is our fervent prayers that everything that we do now, during and after the elections should be in a peaceful atmosphere. We also would want to plead that all the promises that you would be making during this your campaign tour, by the grace of God, if God gives you the nod, come December 7th, we pray that you live to fulfill your promises. This is a short statement. Thank you so much.
Tasalan kuma bai alaita pupusela ma tasalan kuma bala bisidila maska we timena wom de la pangatanga nyum badila tukuma na mangal kala bakan wom di atbatala tasalan kuma de ranyi pielem de ran tawoyong ni ama gundu. We have our revered chiefs with us, and so with your permission I call on the Constituency Communication Officer Mr. Imran Akambara to introduce them to the President.
Ago ti koma nalmunga ali jankala ali timacha chamawa chaman siza akinkan ali timacha empiwa mapusini mapoli batamuka suk ampan nalimba mena ali jambo jenla apasare timacha patwa ningderwa His Excellency John Dramani Mahama niranya jila jani tikalka po tita timacha nawa Fumbisa na kwenku wabolutide nawa na akantarwen akanko the third obrutide nawa masale ni kwantitewa jila dani kalka tita tukowa na ajute awap bachonsa nawa the second obolutide nawa tumanta tidokowa na awa abiako angmanya URC chief the fifth wamubolutide nawa tita tumacha kowa na nkuruma aparinchang the second beden nawa tukowa obolutide nawa tukowa na akanjianya akanfela the third kanjara nap obolutide nawa tita tamukowa na atabnyo akambia nap akambong the first dolinga nap obolutide nawa tidokowa nap atrikpe ama luxi Ignatius the third berembisi nawa obolutide nawa tita tukowa nap akanap aponwe wesa nap the second wa mo bolotide na wa dilaga nuela tete mede kwa Fumbisa chief imam wa alhaji imam abdullahi yasana o bolotide na wa alwanga envirba o bolotide na wa tilanyin dilajini tu jusi suk apa ponalmanga apa sare timacha patwa ningderawa franya jinla jani kalka tita tadak pona amok comfort Fumbisa pona wan la o bolotide na wa ni pantitewa tita tide mo pona sofia ayarik bedem pona wan la o bolotide na wa ni pantitewa tumanta pona akantwa comfort yuwasi pona wan la o bolotide na wa tita pona awiele akanjam budai kanjak pona wan la o bolotide na wa pona ajute Juliana wale chimba chonsa ponawa masale ni ngadu satawa tambang tidemawa pona brema mariama berumbisa ponawa lawa bolotide nawa tita pona asadiak larba wale chimwesa ponawa wami aboloti de nawa tita pona akumasile atong walechin donin ponawa wami abolitide nawa nupantitewa mapoli nkali apa suite MC wala titata deri former DC iwa Honorable Elizabeth Jane Afik wami abolitide nawa manye lijiam mapoli ni chamba alandiembonga amasin te pasani tilbas tilmin ta pusini alanye lisu. Thank you very much.
Tanya the communication officer wa GM okay mapole mputunda sala kama ani gogi ne kan womo dlanyela mata suiti chama wa bisiwar mara ateti chama
ago masala ago nugo ago mpana wona salene to komanda lemnga al kamanda lemnga al timama pona lemnga al timacha kwa John Dramane al janla te senya no sunu pient kan nakta al ga wajanka wala nyin la ne ba se te pas zula atete koma al timama altunun kyonko ale jankal nala na la nuyum kwanye na sit kampa zulate to komala ma sal pa na wona sal ne wa kama la no na akwase atutun nuere atrepa giant wa mina ma anye ne giant la pusi
ani fidiam mapole opon banka war mara franya bay ala to wemwe tumangala pasama ba bode gel tegma da pusi na me mapole ni pisinga te kamba ne na yonga awi ta yin ne giam Unyinka ta wari anwe ni chamba aranja fitembo kwa fema ntenga kwa ate batia la nyingla ba juisika suk awen tukowa te macha nawa Fumbisa nawa na akantarwe akanko ojam ateni chama tia wona tenwe baledeli palta wadila balder ma pa agundu ate tukowa.
His Excellency, the former President and flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress, Mr. John Dramani Mahama, Member of Parliament for Builsa South District, Honorable Clement Abasina Apak, patrons of the great NDC, patrons of the great NDC, and all protocols observed. As the chief of Fumbisi, which is playing host of this historic event, I have the pleasure to warmly welcome Your Excellency and members of your delegation to Fumbisi, the capital of Builsa South District. It is my fervent prayer that the purpose of your visit will be fulfilled. We, the chiefs and queen mothers of the district, have a number of concerns we would like to put across to your excellency. At this juncture, I will kindly invite my colleague chief from Doninga to read our statement. Thank you very much, and God bless you for considering us to be part of your itinerary.
Thank you. Address delivered on behalf of the chiefs and the queen mothers of the Builsa South District on the occasion of the welcome visit of the former president and the presidential candidate of the National Democratic Congress, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, Fumbisi, 6th August 2024. The former president and the presidential candidate of the National Democratic Congress, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, distinguished members of the entourage of the presidential candidate, the parliamentary candidate for the Builsa South constituency, Honorable Dr. Clement Abasi Nabapak, the clergy, friends of the media, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the chiefs and queen mothers of the Builsa South District, I extend to your excellency and indeed to the esteemed members of your delegation a warm welcome to Fumbisi, the capital of the Builsa South District, a district of immense potentialities. Excellency, we are very happy that you have found time to visit our district, which was created during the administration of the late John Evans Atta-Mills administration, in which you served as vice president. Though relatively young, the Builsa South District is a vibrant one, whose vast potentials are yet to be fully harnessed. Excellency, we are not oblivious of the special attention that you attached to our district during your tenure as president, which made it possible for us to benefit from the many important infrastructural projects you implemented across the length and breadth of the country. Notable mention can be made of the Kanjaga Community Day SHS, the District Assembly Office Complex, the residence of the DCE, the construction of the Uwasi Dam, construction of dormitories and dining hall for the Fumbisi Senior High School, teachers' quarters in Doninga, primary schools in Builsa and Wupiensi, chips compounds and boreholes, and the extension of electricity to some of our communities, among others. We wish to avail ourselves of this historic occasion to express our most profound gratitude to you for these projects. Excellency, notwithstanding the achievements chalked under your administration and the current government, our district is still confronted with significant challenges. Unemployment in the district is well above the national average of 14%. The majority of our sons and daughters are unable to find jobs, even after tertiary education, thereby compelling them to migrate to the south of the country and other countries in search of greener pastures. This state of affairs does not bode well for our communities nor our country. In that regard, any policy by any government that seeks to address the current grim unemployment situation among our youth is a step in the right direction. Accordingly, we, the chiefs and queen mothers of the Builsa South District, fully endorse your flagship program of a 24-hour economy as the panacea to the growing unemployment situation in our district in particular, and Ghana as a whole. Excellency, the potential of the Builsa South District to drive agricultural revolution of our beloved country has long been recognized. Endowed with lush arable lands and water bodies, the district has what it takes to feed Ghana and to export some of its produce for the much needed foreign exchange for national development. To achieve this, we, the chiefs and queen mothers, are of the firm belief that a robust, transparent, and well thought out program by government aimed at supporting our hard-working farmers will facilitate attainment of this laudable objective of feeding the nation. Given its ecology, which makes dry season farming practically non-existent, we call for a government policy which addresses the issues of accessibility to mechanization services and at a reasonable cost, irrigation that facilitates all-year farming, the high cost of inputs such as fertilizers and pesticides, the availability of technology, and the adoption of farming practices that safeguard our environment. We wish to appeal to Your Excellency to prioritize the agricultural sector as a veritable vehicle for industrialization and national development, with a special focus directed to communities such as ours, which by virtue of our ecological attributes are unable to engage in all-year farming in the event that the good people of Ghana make you president again. Excellency, a famous Chinese proverb says that to develop a village, give it a road. Roads facilitate trade, and trade stimulate economic development. While your record in the area of the provision of road infrastructure across the country during your tenure as president is not in doubt, unfortunately, our district was not a beneficiary of these projects. The many roads that were awarded on contract by your administration were hardly commenced before you left office. We wish to appeal that should you become president in 2025, you will cause the immediate resumption of work on these roads, which have either stalled or have been discontinued. Excellency, energy is an important catalyst for the creation of jobs and the improvements of livelihoods. It is also a prerequisite for national development. However, many of our communities still do not have access to electricity. In view of your achievements in extending rural electrification to most parts of our communities, we have no doubt at all that your second coming will witness an even more aggressive program of rural electrification, which will cover the remaining unserved communities in our district. Finally, we note with satisfaction your policy on health when you were president, which ensured that the Builsa South District had its fair share of the CHIPS compounds, which were constructed in many parts of the country to address the health needs of our people. We humbly appeal to Your Excellency that upon assumption of office, you will ensure that the CHIPS compounds work fully, with the possibility of upgrading some of them into clinics and polyclinics. Furthermore, we hope that you will undertake to complete all ongoing projects initiated by the current government in our district if they are uncompleted by the time that you are made the president of Ghana by the people of Ghana. We wish to avail ourselves of this opportunity to advise all politicians seeking the mandate of the good people of Ghana to conduct their campaigns with civility and decorum. They must at all times safeguard the unity and sanctity of our country by avoiding acts that will endanger the peace and tranquility that we currently enjoy. Similarly, we call upon the Electoral Commission to discharge its functions in ways that engender trust and broad acceptance by committing to be an honest arbiter. We wish you well in your campaign to become president of our beloved country. I thank you all for your attention. Thank you very much.
Mapole nelu lukula ka tukoa donning nawala nap atabnion akambia nap akambon the first. Wale bisila ma bisi nga gelegelega wadening ate tukoa His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Jiam wale ajanchum president la to chingai atetla ma polo chinga wal pa chinga la na won kuma tan le kambola kalma avarla wonyila ndu ma we wadi la dani ta de jini alikin tuma karo bagala anu university bakanya tuma tomu to ya we an wal womi to ko wal ta 24 hour economy wa ajanla wenda mai kulma mai atutuma ajam so ninde anyila anwe tamle bele jinla kakpari alikin tu wari ku yepo ne pu nyama ngbar ko na kania tika tuya ago nya wala onyidi atitame baktamina wonkar aliwe atibara anyiti tamtar ngata bara anyimpielem amarada adapta nyimpiel nyindala fani kasa chuk anumboro shinga nan lak atibara achenga si chap ko baga nyima atiteng gomsika aboro ala weni amfanya bolmu wani kawadi atibon nan botempo kuma mare atitenkala allak di nyingla wabare alboro atum albolum atwa salam an wadande wani ku kere anyi atibolmu apai jingamina na kugamina wese kuma wolin jam pilma tonguma alge wale ga jorla ba man atomia awen anyu yosa warm kak pam wa salam kuma ay dota fisinga alboborla wadande wani ku kere anyi atinga cin dota penta ngagala cin polyclinic ba ngagala cin clinic ba anyi ti dota kudu bore nyila a cin dota kweme aburtewa ala salam ayen government wade bameli batom chingala wonda mato jam wo pilim ama gunda tom anyu ku kere atotunga anui wala biziya la galgalga tuwom tanyin du koma jikma te asana kuma we tuwom atanyin puna ngame jigi alla nyingla le sala kuma awi puna sofaya ayark anwe wadambara mapel na manga jili soko puntoma tla bisila ka live tv la utrang berim dadire kwambara apafu atma salam finya ba pun jibanga mina jankadwa frambara adrayiti atfi bisi ateba kasin salama
Is it okay? Okay. His Excellency, the former President of the Republic of Ghana, and the presidential candidate of the National Democratic Congress, and his entourage. The Honorable MP for Builsa South, Dr. Clement Abasina Apak. Our revered chiefs, Queen Mothers, ministers of the West, the media, and all protocol duly observed. I must admit that this speech that I'm going to give is an impromptu one, of course, but we are very privileged and honored to be given this opportunity. Our chiefs have said it all, they have said it all, but like Oliver Twist, we, the Queen Mothers of Builsa South, wish to plead to you that in the process of God willing, coming 7th December, should you become the President of the Republic of Ghana, please, in the process of executing your 24-hour economy, don't forget of the Queen Mothers and the revered chiefs of Builsa South. Please, we need to be empowered. As Queen Mothers and chiefs, we are always left with nothing. In case we want to gather our people and say something, because we have nothing, we are not empowered. In fact, it's a big challenge to us. I believe you know what I want to say. So, please, don't forget of us. Empower us in the form of giving us allowances so that at least as leaders of this country, together we can build the Ghana that we are all dreaming for. Thank you so much.
Masalam. With your permission, I would like to invite our PC, Dr. Clement Abasinap, to introduce to us our special person for the gathering. And so, I humbly invite Dr. Clement Abasinap to come and introduce for us.
Masalam komajin la ma biskafle na madeni ati ni chambai ala majan la ba me mawum. My revered chiefs, sub-chiefs, my revered queen mothers, sub-queen mothers, the incoming president and his entourage, the campaign manager, the NDC chairman for Builsa South and his executive. My assignment here is very short and straightforward. But of course, I need God's blessings. And we are in the church. So I must recognize the role of the clergy. There are two types of people in the world. That is my conclusion as an anthropologist by training. The one type, type A, seeks political power. And when it obtains political power, you then begin to see the true motive behind the quest for political power. Type A or type 1 uses the political power given to them by the people to capture and share what belongs to the people. In fact, they are so greedy to the extent that if the people who gave them the mandate become food, they will gobble up the people. Then there is type 2 or type B. That is the group that seeks political power. And when they get political power, they work assiduously, genuinely, honestly, as hard as they can. They sacrifice all that they have for the benefit of the people who gave them the mandate. That is why we have a choice between type A and type B, or type 1 and type 2. The man I am here to introduce is the leader of type B or type 2. John Dramani Mahama is the leader of the NDC. And the NDC is known to be a party that will do everything for the benefit of the people. It is indeed a great honor to stand in front of all of you to introduce to you the man nicknamed the game changer, the man who is bringing us the panacea to the myriad of challenges that we face today, the man who is humble, the man who is truthful, the man who is honest and is willing to sacrifice day and night for our collective good. Please put your hands together. Put your hands together with a rousing sound of applause and welcome the incoming president of the Republic of Ghana, John Dramani Mahama.
Thank you. Thank you very much, my brother, Dr. Clement Apak. Let me begin by thanking our fathers, the traditional rulers, for the warm welcome you have given us and for taking time off to come and join us at this program. Our mothers too, you are very welcome. We appreciate you for receiving us and joining us for this program. Let me also thank the clergy, our pastors from the Christian community, and then our Muslims, our imams from the Muslim community. I thank you all very much for your presence here. I know the notice was short, but for you to have left everything to join us is a mark of the respect and love that you have for us, and we also reciprocate with the same love and respect. We adopted a constitution in 1992, and in the constitution it provided that the term of office of a president will be 4 years, and after that elections will be held. And so every 4 years we've held elections since 1992 until date. The next election is due on the 7th December 2024, and I belong to the NDC party, and I've been nominated to stand as the presidential candidate. As you are aware, about a week and a half ago, on Saturday, in Tamale, we launched the campaign for the 2024 national election. And we began the campaign from the Upper East region. We've been to the Boko area. We've also been to the Nabdam, Talensi, Bolga area, and today we have been all the way to Yagaba. Yagaba is part of the northeast, but because of the geography of this place, it is closer here and easier to reach than from the northeast, and so we decided to just do Yagaba in addition. And we're now here in Builsa South. I want to thank all of you for being here. NDC has been a party that has ruled this country before. And in the periods that NDC has been in power, our priority has been to invest in things that would empower and develop the community. And so we work on projects that would empower the people to be able to do things for themselves. And so anytime we've been in power, our major focus is on infrastructure. We've extended electricity the most. Indeed, it was Rawlings who introduced the Rural Electrification Program, the National Electrification Program. And as a result of those programs and the work that we did, Ghana today is among the top 10 countries in Africa with access to electric power, because we have more than 80% of our people having access to electric power. And a lot of that was done in the period of the NDC. We have invested in schools. We've built more primary schools and secondary schools and universities than any other government in the history of Ghana. And that has expanded access for young people at all levels of schooling. We have concentrated on basic education, provided children with school textbooks. We built the e-blocks in order to expand access for children. And we built several public universities: University of Health and Allied Sciences, University of Energy and Natural Resources, University of Environment in Somanya, and so many other, so that every region would have a university. We also converted the polytechnics into technical universities. Aside from that, healthcare, we expanded the Tamale Hospital, built the Upper West Regional Hospital, expanded the Bolga Hospital, and so many other hospitals all over the country. We built roads and all that. These are things that empower people. We don't pick a few people and make them wealthy and give people money, but these are things that we would make use of. Our children will come and make use of. Our children's children will come and make use of and have access to. And so that has been our belief. So in all the earlier NDC governments, we've seen that development has been more rapid. And if you take Builsa South, I mean, most of the infrastructure you have here in this district was established by the NDC. But currently, we need to go beyond infrastructure. And so even though infrastructure is important, we're going to do the roads, we're going to continue with the hospitals, we're going to build the schools. We, more than ever before, must do things that will provide opportunity for our young people to be able to get employment and be able to look after themselves. Before I left office, unemployment in this country was a little over 8%. Today, after 8 years, unemployment is almost at 15%. And so a lot of our young people are coming out of school 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. They're still living in their parents' houses because they can't find work to do. Their parents are still feeding them. And we need to change that narrative. Because even though they say that Africa has a young, vibrant population and that is an advantage to Africa, it's also a time bomb. Because they say the devil finds work for idle hands. And so these young people staying at home and not having anything to do could become a time bomb, as we are seeing in Kenya. We saw recently what happened in Kenya. The young people just got fed up and took to the streets, and it's been chaos in Kenya. Recently, our own neighbor, Nigeria, has had a repetition of the Kenyan experience. And our old people, our elders tell us that when your neighbor's beard is on fire, you fetch water and put it by your beard. And so it means that Ghana must start fetching water and putting it by our beard before our young people to decide that they are going to engage in civil unrest. And so jobs must be the priority for everybody. And that is the priority of the next NDC government. Like I said, we'll do infrastructure, but we're going to concentrate on the things that will create jobs for our young people. And that's why one of the policies we're introducing is the 24-hour economic policy. It is a very simple thing. There are businesses all over Ghana. There are new businesses that are going to come. We're asking that those businesses work longer hours than the usual 8-hour day. That is working from 8 o'clock in the morning till 5 o'clock in the evening. It is happening in other places. In other places, they have a 24-hour economic program where they give incentives to businesses to work for longer hours. And if you work for longer hours, you cannot work with the same number of people for 16 hours or 24 hours. You have to add on additional labor. So if you have a pharmaceutical factory and you're producing drugs, first, government will incentivize you by buying your drugs. Because we have a need, and NHIS buys drugs for the hospitals. And so we should buy the drugs that Ghanaian factories are producing. If we are buying those drugs the Ghanaian factory is producing, that businessman can add on additional shifts to be able to meet the demand. And if he adds on additional shifts, more of our young people will get work to do. And that's just an example of the pharmaceutical industry. There's the agro-processing area. There are so many other areas. There's construction. We give contracts to companies to construct things for government. They can add on more labor so that they can finish those projects on time. So there are many sectors, the digital sector, fintechs, digital startups can add on more labor by working for 24 hours. And we'll give them tax incentives so that it encourages them. If they're working late in the night when we're not using as much power as possible, we can give them lower tariffs for their electricity so that they can make more profit and be able to reinvest. So that is what it is all about. But I mean, Fumbisi or Builsa South has made a name in this country because it is known as one of the food baskets of this country, especially in rice production. And so it is about creating opportunities here in Fumbisi so that our young people can stay and make a living and have opportunity here. And that's why we're talking about agro-processing centers and farmer service centers. We have had agricultural policies in the past that have not worked. We're just coming from the planking of food for food and jobs. It hasn't worked because, I mean, food prices are so high. If it had worked, we would have abundant food and prices will not be as high. And that is because we're just doing a shot in the dark approach. We just come and distribute subsidized fertilizers, and we think that that's enough to increase food production. This time, there must be a direct engagement to the farmer. We must know who the farmer is, and our policy must target that farmer. And that's why we're saying we're going to introduce two policies. One is the farmer service centers. Luckily, the Northern Rural Growth Program, which was first, and recently the One District, One Warehouse program has created these warehouses across many parts of the country. And so these warehouses can form the nucleus of the farmer service centers. What we intend to do is for each of these farmer service centers, all the farmers in the catchment area of the center will register. And they will go to everybody's farm and measure your acreage, know the crop you are producing, and what your needs are. These need to be captured. So at the beginning of the farming season, your fertilizer that you need, your weedicide, your seeds, if you need improved seeds, you'll be given improved seeds. If you need the services of a tractor, they will bring the tractor, plow for you, harrow for you, plant for you, and give you all the agricultural extension advice you need. At the end of the farming season, when you have harvested your crops, the service center can buy the crops off you at a minimum guaranteed price that ensures that you don't lose. Because we don't want to leave our farmers at the beck and call of the middlemen who come and offer such low prices that it does not even cover the cost of production. And so if we buy this food of the farmers, we pay them for it, we deduct the cost of the inputs that they were given, and the rest of the money goes to them. Those products that we buy, for instance, I mean, several of our farmers still have rice they are holding because they couldn't sell. We can buy that rice off the farmers at a price that makes sure that they make a profit. And we can mill that rice and serve that rice to our students in schools, to our patients in hospitals, to our prisoners in the prisons, you know, and there is a market for it. We also have to make sure that we are able to add value to the products that our people produce. And so providing rice milling capacity in the Builsa South district is going to be a #1 priority, so that the farmers can take their rice there and it is milled for you at a fee. It is packaged nicely in a good packaging. We can get a Builsa South brand. I don't know what brand you people have, but APAC rice, APAC aromatic rice is just an example. Or Fumbisi aromatic rice. So every farmer can go and we'll give you the same packaging. You mail your rice in Fumbisi aromatic rice, and either the buffer stock will buy it, or if you can get a market in the south for selling it, you get more money than when you just sell the paddy, which is what we're doing. You cut the paddy and then these people come and buy it at a low price. When they go and mill that your rice, you go to Accra and see how much your Fumbisi rice is selling for there. A lot of that profit must come to the farmer, not to the middlemen. And so that is one of the approaches we're going to use. But with regards to issues of infrastructure, the road network is important, because if you invest in agriculture, you must have a way of evacuating the agricultural products. And I know that the road network here has seen some issues. We tried to deal with it, but we didn't have enough time. I awarded contracts. My turn was working on the Sandima Builsa South Fumbisi Road, and unfortunately we left office. It was discontinued. We also were working on the VHC, the road that goes through to Wa, so that we could open up this area so that you could go to Upper West region without having to go around Navrongo to Mu to go to Wa. That road is continuing, and it's reached somewhere. I don't think this government will finish it before they leave, but if we do come into office, we're going to continue it until it gets to Wa, so that it's an easy way to go that way. Also, we did the bridge at Daboya, the Chachali Bridge is called. That opens up the road to Bunsunu, and we awarded the contracts in phases from Bunsunu to Daboya to Mankargo, all the way through Fumbisi, so that if people were coming from Kumasi, instead of coming through Tamale, you turn left at Damango Junction, and then turn right at Bunsunu, pass through Daboya, come through Mankargo, and in a short while you'll be in Fumbisi or Sandima or Navrongo. And so those are roads that are important to us, and they are roads that we will continue when we come into office, because this place has the potential to feed the whole of Ghana. And the most important thing a country needs is food security. You have to put food on the table first and satisfy this poor, how do you call it in Builsa? Poo. You have to satisfy poo first before any other thing can come. And so we must focus on making sure that we have enough food to feed our people. And that is why this place has big potential. We announced the special agro-processing zones where government will get land, we will develop it, we'll do the roads, we'll bring electricity, water, everything. And anybody who wants to come and set up an agro-processing company, the land will be available. He can come and set it up and start processing food. We'll continue the electrification projects, and as I've assured the whole country that we're going to continue the abandoned projects. Over the years, when governments leave, subsequent governments do not continue the projects that previous governments were doing, because they think that if you continue it, the credit will go to the previous government and not to you. We don't have that disposition. Taxpayers' money, Ghanaian taxpayers' money has gone into those projects that have not been finished, but Ghanaians are not getting the benefits because the projects have not been done. And so when we come, the projects we're doing, the E-blocks that were abandoned by this government, we'll continue them. The hospitals we're doing that have been abandoned, we'll continue them. The projects from Kufuor's time, from Rawlings' time, any projects that have not been finished, we'll continue them. We're doing an inventory of them as I speak, so that we know which projects are there, so that every year's budget will make provision for continuing these ongoing and abandoned projects. Even the uncompleted projects that this government will leave, we will continue. The Agenda 111 hospitals, they've started so many of them all over the place. They won't finish most of them. The majority, they won't finish. The responsibility is going to fall on us to continue and finish those projects. And so we'll continue them. We're not going to abandon them. With regards to peace, our pastor spoke about peace in the elections. It was reiterated by our father. I can assure you that our party is a peaceful party. And if there will be any violence, it won't come from us. We are certain that we would win the election, and so we don't want any violence in the election. And so we can assure you that we'll go about the election in a peaceful manner. But at the same time, there must be justice, because you can't have peace without justice. And so things must be done fairly. Chief called on the Electoral Commission to be a neutral arbiter and to do their work impartially. We hope that they have listened to you, and once they do that, you can expect that we'll have a successful and peaceful election. Our mother talked about empowering women and empowering chiefs, traditional rulers. I have said that we need to bring our chiefs more into governance, because they live directly with the people, and they interact with the people even closer than any government official. And so in areas like the environment, protecting the environment, I think we should empower chiefs to have some authority to be able to deal with people who destroy the environment. In areas like sanitation, I think that chiefs must have a role in enforcing sanitation to make sure that our environment is clean. In areas like tree growing, I know that some traditional rulers, my father Uyesi, chief, has already been doing a program in tree growing. Government wants to empower you to involve the traditional leaders in tree growing, so that you can mobilize the children. We'll give you the resources. We'll give you these tricycles. Mahama can do aboboya things. They'll put water in it. In the dry season, they can go and fetch water and water the trees. We don't want to do tree planting. We want to do tree growing. Tree planting is you just go and put the seedling there and you turn and go away. Whether the goats come and eat it or anything happens to it, you don't come back and look. But tree growing is when you plant the tree, you nurture it until it is able to take off on its own. So those are areas I think that we can involve our chiefs in governance. With women's development, we are introducing a women's bank. Our women go to Susu collectors and give their 20 Ghana cedis, 20 Ghana cedis, because they want to build their capital to be able to do a small business. Unfortunately, in many cases, the Susu collector, when he has collected enough of their money, he runs away and leaves them. And so wherever women are doing business, in markets, in any place that our women are working with their small and medium enterprises, we will open a bank that is targeted at them. and they can put their 20 CDs and 10 CDs and other things there. And when they need a loan, and normally it's not much they need 500 CDs, they need 1,000 CDs, you know, the bank can give them that loan at very low interest rates. And so we intend to introduce a women's bank which will help women. With a 24-hour economy, we need to expand security services, because you cannot have a 24-hour economy in an atmosphere that is not safe. And so it means we must take on more police, we must take on more fire officers, we must take on immigration, military, and customs, and so on and so forth. The UN says that the optimum ratio of police to citizens is 1 to 450. Ghana currently is 1 to 1,000. We have only 30,000 police officers policing more than 30 million people. And so it means that we need to employ more. We believe that this recruitment should be transparent. Currently under this government, they go into some chief's house or into some party chairman's house and they write a few names, and before you see, there's no advert, people are training to become security officers. We have said we'll decentralize it. We're going to recruit region by region so that everybody has the opportunity to be able to join the security services if they want to. We have the National Apprenticeship Program. Our children who finish school and are not able to go to tertiary education want to learn a skill. And I've told our young people, learn a skill. If you are able to use it to look after yourself, it's good. But if you don't even intend to stay in the country and you want to travel abroad, if you go abroad and you're an auto mechanic or you're a plumber or you are a mason, you get a job very quickly because those people are in high demand. And so that skill will be yours forever. And so we have the National Apprenticeship Program. We'll give the district assemblies money. They'll register all the master craftsmen in the district and we'll assign the young people to them and they'll train them free of charge so that they can learn a skill and be able to set up. After they are finished learning, whatever they need to start, if it's a female, she wants to do hairdressing, we'll give her the dryers. If it's dressmaking, we'll give her a sewing machine, and so on and so forth, so that they can go and start to work on their own. And so these are some of the plans we have. We know that Builsa South has been faithful to the NDC, and we appreciate it. And so I just want to assure you, my fathers and my mothers, that if NDC comes into power, we shall not forget about you. You will get your fair share of the national cake. When we're distributing anything, you will get your share. And finally, I want to present to you one of your own, but he's like my younger brother. He served in my office as a presidential staffer when I was president. Of course, everybody knows Dr. Apak, very intelligent, you know, very astute political person. He is the one who's running again for us. I am standing for the presidential. He is representing us for the parliamentary. So even though he's your son, I need to present him to you that he is the one going to represent us. All the things I've talked about, we need to go to Parliament to approve the appropriation of monies to be able to do it. And so I need a majority in Parliament to be able to do the things that we've talked about. And so I'll encourage that if you vote for me for the presidential, you should add my parliamentarian to me so that we can go and work in your interest. So this is Dr. Apak, Clement Apak. And I thank you very much, and may God bless us all. Thank you.
The victory of Mahama. The victory of Mahama. The victory.